loves, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie, and if you saw the title of the video, I love this. We finally hear from Team Depp, and Camille goes in on Amber, and she gives some insight into exactly what they're doing and what their strategy is and what's going on with these appeals and how they're going to blow Amber's appeal out of the water. I absolutely love this, and I'm so excited to share this with you. We really haven't heard much from Team Depp since all of this has been going on, so this is a treat to see exactly what they're doing. And now I'm just so curious, I think we all are, what's going to happen with these two appeals? Where is this going? And guys, if you like content like this, make sure and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm just somebody that looks at all of the stuff in the news and we just giggle along with how stupid it all is. And I'd love to have you giggle along with me. Think about it, seriously. We hear nothing about Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeff the airplane, or the little black book, and this is what we're force-fed. Tell me to take this seriously. But there are things to talk about, and we can extrapolate, and we're gonna do that. Also, guys, doing my $100 gift card giveaway, and it's really simple to be entered and eligible. Remember, this is all you gotta do. Like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, watch the video from start to finish, and you're entered and you're eligible. And do it for every video, because the more times you do it, the more you're entered, and I'm gonna have a winner August 1st. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's give a little insight into exactly what's going on, and let me give you a little brief history. So we know that both Depp and Heard filed their own appeals. Heard lost, and she lost massively, right? So she said she was gonna file appeal. She did. That went to Judge A. Judge A declined it. Remember, the fake juror, and you didn't actually prove defamation with malice and all of that. And really, Amber doesn't have a choice, because we know of the many lies she told. She said she donated $7 million that she got from Johnny before. Actually, she didn't. And she said, well, I had to spend the money on legal fees. And then we find out that's a lie, because she has insurance that pays the legal fees, but now that insurance is coming after her, because if you do defamation with malice, they can try to get their money back, and that's what they're going to do. So she doesn't really have a choice. But now she and Elaine, her lawyer, they appealed to the Virginia Court of Appeals. They have to go up the ladder. That's the next step. So finally, Team Depp, in response, are issuing their own appeal. Now remember, Johnny and Amber both lost in the sense of, now one's a bigger loser than the other. So when it comes to Johnny, obviously he has $2 million he has to pay Amber for some defamation, just one count, and she has, I think, 3 or 4 counts where it's upwards of $15 million. Now it ends up being capped, so I think it's around $10 million something, but still very, very big discrepancy there, right? So what happens with that? Well, Team Depp has been quiet. So we all knew that was in retaliation. In my opinion, those are warning shots to Amber Heard's side of like, all right, little girl, you want to keep playing? You want to keep going with this? So what does all of that mean, and what's going to happen? We've heard nothing from Team Depp, so I'm so happy that they spoke up, and Camille's giving us all that info. So let's jump on my computer. I want to show you guys the interview and what I found, and let me give you first some information. This is going to be an article from CBS that goes over some main points, and it says, we have to protect our clients' interests. Johnny Depp's attorney discusses decision to file appeal in the defamation case. Although a jury found both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard liable in the defamation trial last month, the legal battle is not over yet. Camille Vasquez, one of Depp's attorneys, spoke to CBS Morning's co-host Gayle King about their decision to appeal the verdict. Last week, Heard notified a Virginia court that she will appeal the $10.3 million settlement she was ordered to pay her ex-husband. Depp's team also filed a notice of appeal after the jury found him liable and ordered him to pay his former wife $2 million. Vasquez said Depp's teams expected Heard to appeal. Do you have to plan a strategy to respond to that? King said. Absolutely, Vasquez says. And we did. Mr. Depp ended up filing his own appeal so that the court could have the full record. And he insists on continuing to litigate this matter. We have to protect our clients' interests. Vasquez said Depp's team wouldn't have appealed if Heard hadn't. Knew it. And Vasquez added, this was never about the money for Mr. Depp. Nope, this is PR and his reputation, guys, which he got back in trying to get his career back. But in order to protect his interests, as his representative, we have to respond to the appeal with his own appeal, she said, which that does make sense. Following the initial verdict, Depp posted a video on TikTok thanking his supporters and emphasized that we will all move forward together. How do you heal and move on when both sides are still in court arguing king at it? That's actually a smart question from her. She says, it's pretty standard legal procedure. We just are hopeful that the court will uphold the verdict, which we think was the right verdict, and allow both parties to move on. Again, smart. Because some could say, Camille, well, if this sounds a little tit for tattish, King remarked. It does, Vasquez says, but it's not. I mean this again. This is very standard legal procedure. If she is insisting on appealing, we have to be able to have the court have the full record, which makes sense. CBS News reached out to Heard and her legal team about the appeals. They said they're not commenting at this time. I bet they're not. In an interview with NBC last month, which we all had so much fun with, Heard said she paid the price of speaking truth to power and accused Depp's team of distracting the jury from the real issues of the case. Asked about those comments, Vasquez says the jury didn't feel that way and the verdict speaks for itself. You know, I gotta tell you, I love her. I love Camille Vasquez. And, okay, I hate doing this. I hate the as a woman thing because I'm really not some crazy third wave feminist, y'all. I'm really, really not. That is not the case with me. Now, with that being said, I am somebody who, as the older I get and the more time goes on, the more I realize there are very serious issues as women that we have to talk about in this country. Funny enough, little rant and vent, why is it third wave feminists never talk about or they don't ever emphasize the horrific healthcare that women do not receive and how awful that is? We never talk about stuff to actually save our lives. I mean, great, like, you know, it seems like a lot of this it ends up being trivial or surface level that I hear from them, and it really drives me nuts. Like, for instance, why do we have, you know, contraceptives, I want to be careful how I word this because it's YouTube, on the market that destroy women's health consistently and they say nothing? Why don't we have better health care for women and hormones? Say nothing. Nothing. And that kind of drives me nuts about stuff like that. But anyways, I want to tell you why I love Camille. So the other thing is, as a woman, you guys know me, I'm a very bubbly, upbeat, fun person. I'm like a blast of feminine energy coming at you. But it's also funny because I'm super masculine. Like, even though I come across this way and I present this way, the way I process information, the way a lot of times I deal with emotions, and also the way I do business is very masculine. It's funny because like when I get down to business and I remove all this feminine energy and I just get down to like stating facts and this, that, and the other, and I'm real smart and sharp with stuff like that, people get really scared and intimidated. They're like, who left the planet because of you? And I'm like, nobody. I'm just being serious. So they don't really know what to do. I think it's intimidating because just as I have a big energy with my feminine, all of a sudden this big stern energy is coming at you with the masculine and I don't know what to do. So it's kind of funny. But okay, sorry. Side notes. Camille Vasquez. This is why I really like her. So Camille, not only is she beautiful, I'm not saying I like her because she's beautiful. I'm just stating obvious facts. She's beautiful. Many times women in her position, again, I understand this. They think that they have to take away their femininity or they have to tone it down and be very masculine to be able to be taken seriously. For instance, Holmes. Remember the Holmes girl with Theranos, and she talked like this, which is funny to me as a classically trained singer. I'm like, girl, what are you doing faking that baritone? Like, it's so silly. But, and I know because I can have a higher pitched voice like that, right? And I get real giggly and stuff. But what I like about Camille is Camille stood in what felt like her authentic femininity while also having that shark energy of destroying Amber Heard in her case in front of everybody while also being young. That's another thing. As somebody, I'm not as young anymore, but I'm 38 and I've always looked younger than what I am. And because of the way I come across, people always think I'm a young, dumb girl. This always happens to me, right? But she commanded respect in her femininity and her intelligence. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So now we're going to actually get into parts of the interview. Let's get into this and see exactly what our girl has to say.
We're hearing now from Johnny Depp's attorney, Camille Vasquez. This is her first sit-down interview since Depp and Amber Heard filed motions to appeal in their legal battle. Now, last week, Heard notified a Virginia court that she will appeal the more than $10.3 million settlement she was ordered to pay her ex-husband. Depp's legal team also filed an appeal to overturn a single count of defamation decided in Heard's favor, ordering Depp to pay Amber Heard $2 million. Vasquez told us what prompted Depp's decision to appeal. Last week we heard that Amber Heard was going to appeal the verdict. What did you think when you heard that? What was your reaction?
It was expected. I mean, she's indicated since the day she lost the trial that she was going to appeal.
Do you have to plan a strategy to respond to that?
Absolutely, and we did. Mr. Depp ended up filing his own appeals so that the court could have the full record. And, you know, she insists on continuing to litigate this matter. We have to protect our client's interests.
Yeah, we've heard that it's not about the money, it's time for healing and time to move on, which was the message that he sent. But how do you heal and move on when both sides are still in court arguing?
It's pretty standard legal procedure. We just are hopeful that the court will uphold the verdict, which we think was the right verdict, and allow both parties to move on.
So is it safe to say that if she hadn't appealed, you all would not have appealed either? You would have moved on?
Yes.
Is that a fair statement?
That's a very fair statement.
Yeah, she said it's not a matter, because I said, it sounds a little tit for tat. She goes, nope, this is legal strategy. We reached out to Amber Heard and her legal team to speak with us about their appeal. They told us that they're not commenting at this time. We're going to have more from our interview with Camille Vasquez in our next hour, including the young team that they put together to win this case. It's very interesting to see because most of these people were under the age of 40, under the age of 35, actually. You know, Camille has gotten a lot of the attention, a lot of the spotlight, because she was so what people call dazzling in courtroom. They said it was a textbook case how she handled herself. But she says it wasn't just me. We had a lot of people working behind the scenes, and I think you'll be surprised to see how young these people were and what they did.
I'm looking forward to being surprised about that, Gail. Thank you very much.
But okay, so let's talk about this. This kind of drives me nuts. Now, what I'm going to say might not apply to me as much now, but I haven't done any big so you guys might know I used to do a lot of upper level marketing directing, marketing management type of stuff with accounts and different brands and things, right? I've done everything I feel like within marketing and sales and advertising and promotions. I've done so much stuff over the last, couple-ish decades. I say that, yeah, actually it's been a couple decades, not exactly 20 years. And I'm 38. I just turned 38. So this might not apply to me as much now, but the last time I did campaigns was 2016. So it's been 6 years. So I was 32? Yeah, 32, 33 the last time. And it was always really frustrating because people would get really intimidated by how young I was and how much I had accomplished. And in being in business, people just didn't, with the kind of personality I have, and I look young too, I looked super young back then, people didn't take me seriously a lot. And I gotta tell you, it really drives me nuts. And I think Gail meant it with all respect. I'm not going off on Gail, right? But Gail's a boomer. I say that with love. Hi, boomers, hi. She's a boomer. And there's always this mentality of the generation is below the boomers is like the way a lot of the how do I put this? There are some toxic traits of the boomers, just like there's toxic traits of everybody, right? And part of that is it seems like there's this constant demeaning of my generation because we're young. And by the way, to the boomers that are watching, this is most likely not you, so don't think I'm talking about you. If you're here, you're probably not resonating with that type of energy. And we all know there are turds in every punch bowl, right? So I'm just talking about the turds in your punch bowl, not specifically you. Just like if you were to bring up, issues in my generation, I'd probably laugh and clap with you. Be like, yeah, these are issues, and these people act stupid sometimes, and they do. We have a bunch of stupid people in my generation. But my generation is also a generation, we have had to go through so much that the boomers don't understand with the economy, just the economy in itself, no less the world that we grew up in, right? We were my generation was a generation where we had a normal childhood and grew into technology. We have a very unique perspective, and it really drives me nuts when people constantly want to talk down to my generation or the younger ones of like, well, that they're so young that either we can't accomplish something or when we do, it's a surprise. No. It should be the opposite. It should be looked at as it's expected for young people to excel and to succeed. Now, granted, when you're younger, you might not have as much experience in different areas, but it doesn't matter because what you lack in maybe experience, you can make up for in creative, innovative ideas because that's what every new generation brings in. And I just feel like it's not really respected. So it does drive me nuts. How'd they do it when they're so young? Because young people aren't stupid. We're not just stupid, right? But again, I get it. There's also the lack of experience. So anyways, I just wanted to point that out. But let's talk about this. I love this. I love this because basically she is showing we were not going to do this, but Heard won't stop. And as she said, and I want to dive into this more, she said for us to be able to put the full record forward, we have to do this. And I'm wondering, is that actually the case? Or maybe it is. Maybe this is how they have to respond to them filing their appeals so they can get their side of it. And I think at this point, That's what Johnny wants. Johnny just wants his evidence and his side told so he can redeem himself from the unfairness that's happened. And I think it's smart. What do you guys think, and what do you think of this little clip from the interview? Sound off in the comments and let me know. I'm very, very curious. As well, remember, guys, doing the $100 gift card giveaway, very simple. All you have to do, like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, watch a video from start to finish. I'll announce the winner August 1st, and if you like being here, we would love to have you. So make sure and sign up. Sign up for a subscribe. That was a statement I was going to say, and it doesn't make sense. But do it anyway, and hit that notification bell. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this video here now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I love, you guys have my heart. I love you guys so much, and I'm just grateful for everything, every single day. Take care. Lots of love, lots of blessings. Till the next video, I'm giving everybody hugs. Mwah. Kisses. Stay safe, y'all, and as always, your girl. We'll see you soon. Bye, guys.